Parents, this video is going to be a little bit disturbing. I want to tell you right up front, but there's solutions at the end of this video on what's going on in schools and how you as a parent should be involved. There's 6 different ways people are reacting to the madness that's taking place in schools, but I'm going to give you a solution and I'm going to give you a challenge. What you do with it is on you, but I highly recommend you actually execute some of these things we're talking about here. If you get value from this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with other parents like yourself. Let's get right into it. Here's a video of an 11-year-old kid who goes to the school library. There's a book in the, I'm not even gonna tell you what happens here. Listen to what this kid sees, reads in this book to the board, and watch the reaction.
I'm 11 years old and I go to Wyndham Middle School. I'm a 6th grader. I was in the library and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page.
6th grader.
My back over my hips as I ask if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both fucking terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good, because we were a mess of emotions, and we were scared and excited, and everything felt new. So this sort of feels like that. Nick touches me like he's scared that any minute. Now, this book was at my middle school, and it was on a stand. When I rented it out to show my dad it, the librarian asked if I wanted more and if I wanted a graphic novel version.
Wow. And by the way, you're going to get I'm going to show you the clip of what the father does here. But when you watch this here as a parent, you get different reactions. I'm having these conversations with a lot of people nowadays, whether it's, we're at dinner, clients, all these different things. They're upset, they're angry, they're furious, but a lot of them feel helpless. But you're not helpless. There's 6 ways people are reacting to the madness that's going on in schools. Number 1 way, parents, oblivious. They're not involved. They don't know what's going on. I'm too busy. I'm trying to pay the bills. I can't get involved. It's too much for me. It's just public school. I was a product of public school. It's all going to work itself out. The oblivious parents, do not be surprised if your kids get caught up in some of this madness because no one's talking to them about it. The second type of parents that are reacting to this, they bitch, they complain, they go and talk to other friends, but they do nothing about it. All talk, but nothing happens. The third thing that parents are doing right now that you can also do in your school is they're saying, this is so crazy. They are bitching, they are complaining, but they're taking action and they're running for school board. Now, here's the thing about running for school board. I'm going to give you some stats for you to be thinking about. And a lot of you, I want to challenge you to think about running for school board. Some of you are saying, man, it must be a lot of responsibility. Me when running for school, why would I ever get elected? I'm not a political person. This isn't for me. I'm just a regular mother. I totally get it. Let me give you some stats. Over 90% of things that take place in schools are impacted by school boards. If you're a part of it, you can impact over 90% of things that happen in schools. School boards select the superintendent. Voter turnout, ready? Often is only between 5 to 10% of school board elections, meaning if you run for it, it's not like 100% of people are showing up anyways. It's only 5 to 10%. So if you're philosophically in a place where maybe you have more conservative beliefs and you think the way they're influencing the kids is absolutely ludicrous, you can go talk to other mothers and other fathers and say, do you feel this way? Did you hear about what happened? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I'm thinking about running. Do I have your support? Do I have your support? And you're getting more people saying, Mary, if you run, Bobby, if you run, I would definitely have your back. We're also upset about this thing here. Now you're starting to recruit other people that would be willing to vote for you because you're concerned about the same issues. Number 4, cost less than $1,000 to run for school board. Number 5, very sellable campaign message. Number 6, over 70% of school board members say it was very easy to get elected. It's only 1 or 2 meetings per month, not time consuming. You do not have to disclose your political affiliation at the ballot to run. 50 million children are impacted by school board decision. Let me say it again. Over 50 million children are impacted by school board decisions. That's a big number. And last but not least, 95,000 active school board members in the US. Why not you go run for it if you are so concerned about what's taking place? So now we have three different reactions. The oblivious, the ones that bitch and complain. The next one that says, there's no way I'm gonna let this happen. I'm running for school board and I'm gonna go recruit other parents and talk about these types of issues. Wonderful. By the way, I want you to see what this father does here to get involved, how bold he is, and look how he points out one of the manuals at the end and what he says. Disturbing, again, I've warned you, disturbing, but watch this bold father concerned about his son.
Oh boy. So I'm that kid's father.
Okay, good. I was asking for you.
Yeah, I'll take another 3 minutes. So that's my son,
Okay.
11 years old, and went to his library and found that by the entry door of our library, this is the smut that he is finding, all right? I don't care whether it's gay, straight, bisexual, whatever the terms are for all this stuff, doesn't need to be at our school. Doesn't need to be at my 11-year-old's library. And then as far as genderqueer, I've got a son in the high school as well. And this is bullshit. We know it, all right? We do not need to be having literature that's showing boys how to suck dick, all right? I'm very, very frustrated about it, okay? And you may think that schools know the best for our children. You know who know the best for our children? The parents.
Are you upset?
Yes.
Are you frustrated? Are you angry? You getting the chills all over your body? You're kind of sitting there saying, I cannot believe this is actually taking place? Well, then do something about it. Do something about it. Half the battle of challenges that takes place is when leaders don't do anything about it. You are just as guilty if you allow this madness to take place as the people that are allowing that type of content to be in schools. Because we got to wake up, me and you. There's a risk to staying quiet.
As a parent of a 4-year-old living in China and being a teacher, I am 100% actively involved in being a mom and very actively involved when it comes to the school's curriculums, lesson plans and outcomes of these plans, including giving daily feedback to the parents.
So, I'm challenging you while you're watching this to do something about it at the school board. So 3 levels: oblivious, bitch and complain, go to the board. Here's the next one, number 4. It's private school with the right values and principles. I'm talking to a lot of people right now that are asking about private schools. You can go on niche.com, you can look at all the schools, find out affiliation, spiritual, Catholic, Christian, whatever it may be, all over the place, and you can interview. While you're interviewing these private schools and you're talking to them, ask them what values and principles they stand for. These are things you ought to be asking about, right? So you may say, Pat, I can't afford to put my kids in private school. Totally get it. Either find a way to make extra money or...
Although Lyall is in a private school, as a Christian parent, our son has Bible studies on a daily basis at home. As parents, this is our responsibility. We know that nothing about Christianity is being taught at school, and that's okay. We know our son's not being left out. You can't expect the teachers to give your child 100% attention all of the time.
Or number 5, homeschool them. Oh, there's no way I can homeschool my kids. I just cannot homeschool my kids. No problem. Then last but not least, if you can't do any of those things and you're watching this saying, I still have to stay in public school because I can't afford it, find a state and a district where it matches your values and principles and research the best public schools that have certain values and principles that match yours and move there. Yes, move there.
Moving to a spot for your child's well-being. Well, when my husband and I got married, we didn't expect our lives to be the way it is right now. And it is only so because of the grace of God. We're both South African. When we got married, in the first year of our marriage, we did not know that we would be moving to another country where English was not even spoken. Do you think that made us nervous? Honestly, we never thought about it. All we knew was that God was with us and still is, and we had each other and still do. And we were going where God was taking us. The spoken language, Mandarin and Cantonese, and the culture was not going to stand in our way. The education system in China is extremely different from the system my husband and I went through in South Africa. Hey, look, you're entitled to have your own opinion about China. I respect that, and we can still be friends. But whatever the case is, Chinese culture is very conservative from the rest of the world. All these pronouns that are floating around all over the world is not talked about in China. Sure, there are homosexuals around, but that's as far as it goes. The rainbow flag is forbidden here, and kids are under so much of pressure by parents to excel academically, there's no chance for them to dress up in a rainbow, and there's definitely no chance of having more than 2 genders being taught at school. The level of discipline here is so extremely high compared to schools in the US, and thank God that my family and I live where we live. What this parent in this video is going through is unacceptable.
It's not supposed to be easy, but move. I hear a lot of people that say things like, what do you mean move there? I don't have any money to move. You think immigrants had money when they moved to America? How much money do you think we came to America with? What do you think my dad did when we came here? He was a cashier at a 99-cent store. So what's the alternative? Staying in Iran? Can you imagine? Yeah, let's keep our kids in Iran. You know, when the Khomeini died, it was a mess in Iran. My mom and dad are like, we're getting the hell out of here. Thank God they did. We lived at a refugee camp for a year and a half before we made it to the States. And then we came here with nothing. Literally, we had nothing when we came out here. So it's not as big of a deal to move from one state to another as it is to move from a country. You speak a whole different language to a new country. You're gonna move from California, Florida. You still speak English. You're gonna move from Chicago to Texas. You still speak English. You're gonna move from New York to Tennessee. You still speak English. But go do the research because, you know, we're doing a live podcast. Afterwards, when the cigar lounge, we're having a conversation, this one lady is sitting next to me and I said, how many kids you got? She says, I got 1 kid. I said, you got 1 kid and you're a valetenier? She says, yes. So how can you be a valetenier and only have 1 kid? You know, I'm always challenging people to have more than 1 kid, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. If you have the resources, you have the money, you want to have more than 1 kid. Anyways, we're having a nice, fun conversation together. But the guy next to her is a single guy, 35, making a lot of money. And he said, man, I don't want to get married because of this, because I said, so what are you going to do? You're going to stay single the rest of your life? Yeah. Well, what the hell's the point of staying single the rest of your life? Tell me what's exciting about that. What is the point of life? Well, I'm making money. So how many do you need to, well, like, what do you think the goal of life is? Yeah, I got 4 kids, okay? The relationship and the experience of how much God has blessed me with these 4 gifts, it's the 4 most amazing gifts the man upstairs has given this regular guy, okay? You and I, if we're lucky enough to have kids, it's our responsibility to lead them. It's your responsibility to lead them. It's not easy. If we don't, bullying comes in many different shapes and forms. And a lot of kids in America today are being bullied. And you and I need to stand up and lead.
A kid needs a father who's a male and a mother who's a female. Get that straight first. Lay a proper foundation for them and then lead by example.
There's 6 reactions. Aside from the first one, which they do nothing about it, all the other ones, let's move, let's lead, let's do something about it. Let's get louder in boardrooms so our kids will be protected. So if you got value from this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other parents. And I got another video for you if you haven't watched the public school crisis in America. If you've never seen it, click here to watch it. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Subscribe to RJ's Antics for loads more.
You only grow up when you have a perfect little human, depending on you for everything. And when you realize that life is not all fun when it's only about you.